Hey guys. I'm back and here at the best/den this side of the Punta to tell you all about Charan Empire's latest effort in taking over the entirety of the Witcher 3 Enhanced Edition. Which system has been conquered this time? Poise. Yes, that's right. Fucking finally. Just look at this sexy character sheet. Since all of you just spilled chode nectar all over yourselves, let's get right into this motherfucker. New Poise functions as a resource just like stamina or vigor, with a regeneration delay of 3 seconds of not spending any, and you will be spending it on all of your defensive actions that aren't dodges or rolls. So, countering, parrying, or perfectly parrying an enemy will cost poise. What the hell are perfect parries, you ask? Perfect parries are downgraded counterattacks. They will occur if you attempt to counter an enemy while below 70% of your total poise. This 70% threshold now being a requirement for performing counterattacks. And they come with their own sexy visual effects. If extra sparks appear and your screen shakes, you nailed that perfect parry timing. Perfect parries mitigate more health and poise damage than what are now called passive parries. It is also important to remember that you cannot perform a perfect parry if you are in the exhausted state. So manage your stamina, kids. Not all enemy attacks are equal with regards to poise damage. This means that any amount of poise you stack will have a very tangible benefit, as it will allow you to defend against bigger, more poise-damaging attacks. Gone are the days where you are bent over a barrel and relieved of your precious Witcher flower if you even dare to block an attack that isn't from a necker with muscular dystrophy. Under the rule of our benevolent Emperor Charan, parrying, for example, a griffin's wing swipe with enough poise will now result in this. Instead of this,
thank you.
Witcher 3 Enhanced Edition. Anyway, getting your poise broken causes Geralt to stagger and immediately regenerate all of his poise, ensuring that you can defend against any potential follow-up attacks and avoid becoming stun-locked. However, poise damage is still active on direct hits, meaning that if an enemy attack hits you after you recover all of your poise, even during the stagger animation, you will still take poise damage, and quite a lot of it. So when fighting multiple enemies, it is more important than ever to avoid becoming surrounded. Position yourself properly. Use all the tools at your disposal, and you'll be able to handle anything thrown at you. But red shots, you inquire. How do I monitor my poise in the heat of combat? Simply put, you won't need to. The new system is very logical in its design. It doesn't take a fancy schmancy UI element to know that a golem's fist is going to deal a lot more poise damage than a necker's cock slap. And it will only take getting fisted and cock slapped once or twice before you know how much of either one you can handle. However, that isn't to say that there isn't at least some way of monitoring your poise directly. Say hello to your new poise monitor. When the sword icon is red, you are able to counter pretty much any enemy at least once. A yellow sword is a bit more vague though. You cannot counter-attack with a yellow sword. But what you can and cannot parry in this state depends on your total poise, the enemy attack you are attempting to defend against, and if you landed the perfect parry or not. And when the sword is grey, the next attack will stagger you no matter what. While this may work, it is not ideal. And again, the intent of the new system is that you will rather quickly learn what you can and cannot defend against, rarely, if ever, looking at the sword icon. Lastly, as you might imagine, new Poise comes with a few changes to talents and items. All pieces of armor now have a poise value attached to them. Light, medium, and heavy armor now grant 3, 6, and 10 poise per piece, respectively. Heightened senses will now increase your poise by 3 per rank, up from 2. Deadly precision will now only grant a 4% damage reduction bonus on parries per rank. The rest of it has been given to perfect parries, thus making the early game without deadly precision much smoother than before, and making it far less important to rank up first. Bear School Techniques now reduces your poise regeneration delay by 0.2 seconds per piece of heavy armor, making your poise regeneration delay 2.2 seconds with full heavy armor. The first bonus effect granted by the Ursine armor set will allow for moderate adrenaline generation even at full health, just like the feline set. And while you are above 80% adrenaline, perfect parries, at the cost of 30 adrenaline, inflict an arm injury, stagger even large enemies, and knock down smaller ones. Alternative Quen will now prevent all poise damage from enemy attacks while active, allowing you to create some breathing room if you find yourself surrounded. The poise bonus granted by the full moon potion has been removed and its bonus to injury resistance has been increased substantially. The Tiara potion will now grant the poise bonus previously granted by full moon, and its parry damage reduction bonus has been cut by 30%. The heavy armor set bonus will now reduce chip damage received while parrying by 5% and cause your perfect parries to stagger opponents. I'd like to leave you all with a proper demonstration of the new system. So without further ado, here is some beta footage of me giving an Ekamara some of my hard steel.
Ekamara, I can leave it here till the villagers woke it. What? Lost your nerve? Come on.
All in all, the new poised system will make the game more challenging when fighting multiple enemies without proper positioning and control, but make fights with big monsters like Ekamara's a lot more fair. where good play is rewarded rather than the fight just being a glorified stat check with extra steps. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed. I guess I'll see you degenerates after the next system falls to the Charan Empire. I wonder what it could be.